Can't really see it.
Yeah, I think it helps the lighting a little bit. You can see it on the secondary cams.
Oh yeah, okay, I see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks nice. Yeah, that looks nice.
We'll start that again then.
Run it.
All right, and 3, 2, 1, action. Yo, what's up, man?
What up, man? What
Completely
up?
candid, right?
Yeah, super
Obviously.
candid, man.
No editing. Yeah, man. I want to say, give yourself a good, proper intro because I can do it, but it'll never be as good.
That makes sense. Well, my name is Akash. Okay, well, all the white people call me Akash, but like it's like Akash. You said it right the other time.
Yeah.
I go by Hex sometimes. People like to call me Hex. That's like my nickname, I guess, that I go by. And I'm the founder of hexstudio.io. It's a creative studio that does like web, apps, software. We do design as well. We do a lot of XM work as well. So like experiential marketing stuff. So that like entails like activations and like building tech for those type of things.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw you doing the Hollow thing like last week. Is that were you playing
that's like a personal project of mine that I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
But that's who I am. I'm the face of Hex Studio basically. Yeah.
Sick. We met at the Geolock thing just outside.
Yeah.
I'd asked Locke and Chloe to point you out at some point because I saw you done the site for them.
Yes.
I'm not originally from like this creative community, and I haven't seen anyone doing anything purely, I guess, whatever you want to call it, technical. So I was just curious. A lot of your work is very artistic as well, like a lot of web-driven animations. So I was just curious. I wanted to pick your brain a little bit too and see where you're at and why you found like this particular client niche and stuff too. Because it seems like an incredibly tough client niche to establish. But you seem busy.
Yeah, I seem busy. yeah. But like there's obviously like a downside to all this stuff. Like it's not like I'm getting like clients back to back like every day.
Yeah, but I mean the larger waves come and go. You just got to be ready and
essentially, yeah. It's got to be ready for it, right? I don't know. Like I'm not very talented. I can't draw. I can't sing. I can't dance or anything like that.
You don't say can't. You
not yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still young,
Exactly.
Still got some time to
While the knees work, man, anything's possible.
Exactly. Yeah. Never say never. But yeah, like for me, like coding and like design and stuff like that, like it's just like my language.
Yeah.
And it's like my tool of creativity, I guess. Obviously, like growing up, I was a avid like gamer. I still am a gamer.
Yeah.
And
what kind of stuff?
How, pardon me?
What kind of stuff?
Man, I like. I'm a huge fan of single player games.
Yeah, same.
Like FPS games.
Prefer adventure and FPS and role playing and shit.
Respects. Dude. Like Oblivion remaster came out.
Yes.
What'd
you think?
In on that. I've been locked in, bro. It's
got the same problems as in for like the original Oblivion.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. Like I played Morrowind, Skyrim, and like Oblivion back then, and it's like this Oblivion. Even though there are some things are like like you said, like kind of the same shit. I still think it's like a completely different game. It feels very different. Completely different, as in like the graphics are changed. There's like different combat mechanics now. You can parry and stuff.
Okay, I haven't gotten super deep into it. I kind of just got on sale and just kind of.
Oh, nice.
Poked around a little bit.
Are you on PC, PS5? What are you on?
Playing both.
Yo, Game Pass, bro.
Game Pass?
You get free
PS5?
games. Oh, no. Only for PC.
PC? Okay, yeah. I want to switch to proper PC gaming because like I'm getting sick of buying consoles. They're not delivering.
Yeah.
I might as well just throw the cash at like
bro,
something.
GTA 6 coming out next year.
You're
gonna need a pro for that.
Super over GTA.
Yo, it's been too.
I couldn't care less.
It's been too long, eh?
It's not even that, man. I played 5 and it didn't scratch any of my itches. I just felt it felt dragged out to me.
Oh damn.
That's just me.
Interesting. I played GTA 5 like when it came out. I can't remember too much of it.
Story is the same old stuff. I mean, I think there's also the X factor kind of fades as you grow up. Like you're playing San Andreas as a kid and you're like, this is absolutely insane that I'm doing this right now.
Yeah.
And when you're older,
it doesn't hit the same.
I think you just feel the grindiness of it a lot more.
Right.
I've become like largely disillusioned with most games at this point.
Right.
Everything just feels like a grind to me. But I would have been happy to do it.
Yeah, no,
as a kid.
Like as a kid, it was like, dude, this is like insane. This is a completely different world. But now it's like, I understand what you're saying. Cause like, I think just like gaming in general is like completely changed for me. It's like not the same anymore. Like, bro, when I got my first Game Boy Advance SP, got Pokemon Sapphire.
Yeah.
that was crazy. Like I was in the car on like road trips playing that shit.
Yeah.
But now it's like doesn't feel the same.
No, not at all.
You know?
Not at all. There's the whimsicalness is kind of gone. That's largely on me. You know what? Actually, while we're on it for games, I've been kind of poking around with game dev a little bit.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So like, I got pretty familiar with Unity, and then moved on to poking around with Unreal 4 right now. But it's taxing on my system, so I can't really do too much. I can do like scene development, but as soon as I need to implement like game logic, that's
interesting. So it only like starts to pick up on like the GPU and the CPU, like when you're doing like game logic stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, then I need to start worrying about polling cycles for like collisions and like when you're just doing scenes or like renders for visuals,
right?
That stuff doesn't matter.
Right.
Like there isn't too much of that going on. So that's when it starts to get taxing. And I recently picked up Godot, or I don't know if that's how you say it.
Godot, I haven't heard of it.
Godot's sick, and I think you might find it pretty dope too. Pretty intuitive if you've ever touched any game engines, and if you haven't, you can intuit it. But the idea is good. It's made for compilation and deployment for web, which is super dope. And it makes
me down my lane.
Yeah, and it's super sick. You could put it in. You could embed like the built version of the game into a website or something instead of doing like all your animations purely through.
So does it like basically compile it for the web?
Yeah, I think everything compiles down to WebGL right now for
from
that engine.
Unity, from that engine.
From that engine.
Oh, I see.
But Unity has web compilers too.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
I think it might be an Android port then to web.
I see.
But this is a little bit simpler. And I think I really like it.
I have some homework to do. That sounds pretty cool.
For 2D stuff, it's sick. And for 3D, there's obviously 3JS, like tons of stuff.
Babylon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Too much.
There's a lot out there. Yeah.
There's a lot.
And like, even on that topic, like the whole idea of there being too much, what like that really resonates with me because like, we have AI now these days, right?
Yeah.
That craze is like seriously crazy. It's like, we just got like people are just realizing about it these days, but like, it's been around for a hot minute, right?
Of course, yeah.
And the crazy thing is like what I tell myself a lot when I'm building like apps or like websites or like stuff like that is over engineering something that exists. Like you can over engineer something. And I feel like sometimes like AI and stuff like that, and even games and stuff like that, you tend to over engineer things when they don't need to be. And that affects like optimization, performance and stuff like that. Like for me, there's so many tools I can use, right? I can use Babylon. I can use like 3.js. I can use the one that you said right now, Game Dot or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's like so many different types of like CSS, like post CSS, like stuff like that, right?
Like
some
tools and stuff.
Tailwind.
No, it's true.
Stuff.
It's true. There is a bit of a misnomer there because I think we have, I don't know if it's become like part of just like the normal cultural language, but it's like there's something about keeping it simple that everyone looks at as like an inherently better thing. I think the over engineering thing gets conflated a little bit. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
If you engineer something very well, typically that's the only time you'll hit optimizations and stuff. Like,
right.
Again, you also have to look at the complexity of what you're building, like maintaining it.
Like the way I see this, like, okay, for example, like I think like a real life situation that I'm in is when I'm building a project out, right? Like you said, like I have to like, look at the complexities that are going to come with this project. What is maintenance going to look like? And the key thing is, what is it going to look like if I bring a junior onto the project?
Yeah.
What's it going to look like if I have to hand off the project?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or there are situations where like, you end a relationship with the client and you have to give them the source code.
Yeah.
But that's what's like in the contract, right? They're entitled to that. And they're going to take that source code and then they're going to give it to the next dev or whatever. Is it going to be like an archaic amount of code base like for them to like work with? So like these type of things is what I mean, or like what I'm like trying to talk about when I say over engineering is like, like why? Like why?
Sure.
The whole Pascal thing is like, why?
No, fair.
Right?
That makes sense. That brings up a curiosity for me. Now that we have an incredible amount of independent services to do specific things, like you no longer have to spin up your own backends. You no longer have to manage your infra if you can afford it. Like you could use something like Supabase and never think about it again. And I think it only just recently clicked for me what you're really doing when you start using backend as a service platforms. And it was never explicitly like, I don't think it can be explicitly taught, because you have to teach the foundation, then you teach the abstraction. But like a lot of times when you're picking up tools, you start with the abstraction,
right?
And then you're like, okay, what is this actually doing? And then by the time we decouple it, it's like we're doing so much without ever realizing it. And it puts me in a weird spot sometimes where I'm like, how much am I responsible for knowing when I'm building these things?
Right. Because I think that's a serious thing.
Yeah, you could take forever to learn everything.
Yeah.
And never get anything out. I still don't have a good balance on that. Like I still get into these weird cycles where I'm like, okay, now I'm going to pick up something super technical just because I need to scratch this like weird nulling itch where it's like, if I don't do it, then I'm not improving. I'm just picking up these sparse abstractions.
Right.
Especially with AI now. Like I don't care about retaining a ton of CSS nomenclature, but I know what's going on, even if I'm using Tailwind. Like I understand what the classes are abstracting and stuff.
Right.
But that doesn't always hold true. And I'm like wondering, now that you're in a position where your main priority really is delivering good product, where do you land on that? How far down the chain of abstraction do you typically live when you're building like these custom projects?
For me, it's like when I'm building these custom projects, it's typically like I'm not gonna lie, I have used ChatGPT before.
I use it.
You know,
No,
I've used it. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm like the all-knowing father of code and shit. No, that's
totally wasting your time if you're not using it.
Exactly, right? I think what it is though is like, you know, the whole idea of like how far deep in abstraction am I gonna go and stuff like that. It's like I use ChatGPT when I really actually need to. The reason for that is because, like, to what you were saying, like, yeah, you can have all these backend services set up. You can use all these like Tailwind abstractions and stuff like that, and have it just get generated in seconds and minutes, right? But if you come across a niche request from a client or a niche issue in your code base, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah,
you know, you're not going to be able to like, oh, the nitty gritty details of like what this AI just pumped out for me. I'm not going to be able to like go in and be like, oh, this is exactly where the issue is.
Sure.
I got to go fix that now.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some crazy stuff in vibe coding before. It's like, people will literally like reference like an open AI API, right? And they'll use like Text DaVinci or like ChatGPT Turbo like 3.5 or something to literally like if you're familiar with like try and catches, so it's like it'll try, and if it catches an error, it literally has a prompt. Like it uses a prompt to like prompt OpenAI to be like, how do you solve this?
Yeah.
Like no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you can't solely base like everything off of like just like your AI bot, you know?
I mean, you and I shouldn't, but I think it's totally okay for...
It's totally okay?
For your average individual. I don't see why...
I would say, I think it's totally okay. Like, like for example, if you're trying to build like a portfolio website for yourself as an individual, by all means. But I think like if you're building like in my situation, if you're building like...
totally.
Something for like a company or whatever, and they're like, yo, Akash, I need you to like... increase the width of the two images in the middle, but then make sure that they stay centered at all times, and like both margins on the side need to be the same as like the entire page's gutter or whatever, right?
Sure.
That's like literally a problem I had like literally like last week.
Sure.
And it's like so deep in the CSS that hasn't been touched for like maybe a couple months, right? And if you can't take your entire CSS code base and throw it in and be like, okay, AI, find the problem. And even if it does find the problem, it's probably going to be some random shit that does not work.
I've been surprised.
I have too.
I've been very surprised by it.
It's rare for me. It's very rare for me.
Fair. Yeah, fair. I mean, I'm not strongly opinionated in one way or the other. I think my bigger concern lands on kind of like the singularity of ways of doing things that's inevitably going to come out of like uncurated feedback. Like, for example, TypeScript's exploding. Right. The amount of TypeScript on the open web has, I mean, I don't actually know, but I'm assuming it's grown exponentially, if not faster. Yeah. And if you're training on open corpus TypeScript's going to become de facto what it becomes good at debugging, generating.
Right.
And you get into these weird loops where unless somebody really has a need for scale, performance, they'll never be incentivized to look outside of TypeScript. But that problem probably exists already. Like, you get a job, and unless your heart's really in dev or your head's really in dev and you're excited by new things, you're probably just going to end up writing whatever the job asks of you for the rest of your career.
As long as it works, type of thing.
Yeah.
And then put it aside.
And I do wonder if that's going to exacerbate that problem a little bit, where like, I think TypeScript already is pretty poorly understood by people that use it.
Yes, I agree with this. Because like the whole reason for like me and Davison, we talk about this all the time, and like he's actually the person that, like, believe it or not, I never actually wrote in TypeScript before. I started working on with TypeScript because of Davison. So the whole idea is, like, you know, we want to be able to go to sleep in peace when we don't want any type errors happening on build time.
Sure.
Like, if someone goes in, like, for example, like if you have like a dashboard created for like your client or whatever, or like a company, and they end up putting in like an SVG where it's not supposed to be a PNG, for example, your typing will save that issue from ever happening.
Sure.
'Cause you can just like follow with a try and catch or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But if I did not ever adapt TypeScript, I think that's what it is. Like, I think for me, that's like the gem of like TypeScript. It just helps me sleep at night.
Sure.
Like, without any worries, you know, the next day. But yeah, to your point, I think like TypeScript has been around for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And it's, again, right, it's the whole same thing as, like, you know, people realizing AI's power now, but it's been around for such a long time. I think the same concept applies here for TypeScript as well. But hey, I love it. Once you go TypeScript, you don't go back.
Oh man, I don't know. I find myself going back every now and then. I'm finding like it's whatever. I don't want to get into the TypeScript debate because
You're over here like the whole night. Yeah.
But I guess broadly speaking, my point is, if that becomes a de facto like language for people, you'll just kind of find a way to use it and not necessarily feel compelled to understand it. And like,
oh, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
There's already kind of a performance bloat problem on the open net. Performance is something you don't really have to think about as long as bandwidth gets better, devices get better, storage gets more efficient. But at some point, as soon as you want to do something difficult or super custom or super graphics heavy, you've been removed from what your code is doing for so long that you're like, you're almost in limbo, even though you've been writing code for 10 years. It's like,
yo, let me tell you, bro.
Yeah, and that's the scariest part of it for me, because there's so many other things to focus on. I don't particularly care that much about writing software. Like, I want to do it well and I want to continue to get better, but it's not like I'm not ready to put like 60% of my time into progressing that skill.
I understand, yeah.
But you still want to get better, so it's a good dilemma. It is. I mean, like anything, but I think the thing I'm getting at is the models obfuscate a lot of stuff for me that I don't necessarily care about getting into the weeds about. As long as I understand what it's doing and I can debug it, I'm cool with it. After that, the rest of the time is spent on like, okay, now let's do like C# specifically for engines or for game engines. And at that point, you still can't say you know C#. You know C# for Unity. Like, you know the Unity API. You don't know C#.
Right.
There's so much to learn, and if I were to ever sit down and put together a list of everything that I think is worth learning, my brain would probably explode. Right. I just get overwhelmed on the spot.
I get that.
So I like that part about these models for code. I really hate vibe coding, personally. Especially if it's not a controlled feedback situation, because I just think I think that whole situation is barreling. Yeah, no, seriously, man. I like to that point. It's like, I just think the whole concept of learning something like a skill, like what you're saying, right? Like, oh man, like I don't want to spend like the next couple of years like learning this thing. It's like, I think obviously with these new tools to like learn technologies and skills, it's made people soft. I'm not saying like I'm not trying to bash on anyone. I'm not trying to bash on anything, right? But it's like when you really want to learn like a skill or like a tool or whatever, right? Like obviously, you know, like experience goes a long way. Sure. Like the more you work with the tool, the more better you get at it and whatever. And you'll come across like these niche situations that put you in like a
a spot where you're like, oh shoot, how do I figure this out? And I think those moments are it's like the parts that like help you like really learn a tool and stuff like that. But yeah, man, like honestly, I agree. There's like so much to learn now. There's like so many things out there. It's like, oh, you want to do 3D web, WebGL, 3.js, whatever. You want to do like games, Unity, Unreal, whatever. You want to do like IoT development, you know, like stuff like that. There's a lot. But I think, yeah, if you like figure out a niche or whatever, it's like, you know, that's like a good way to go about it.
Here's an open-ended question, kind of riffing off that. You're starting again from scratch today. You need to make some conscious decisions about what to spend time learning. How do you structure your learning for yourself in the next, whatever, let's say 2-3 years?
And this is like without the context of anything that I've learned these past like years.
Yeah, and answer it whatever way you think is most interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think what I would do, like my way of learning for the next 2 to 3 years would be like literally just throwing myself in the fire. Just getting right into it.
How do you pick the right fire, I guess is what I'm saying. How do you properly stoke it so it's not
right.
It's not spreading you too thin.
Right. I think it's
you might be like, maybe I can give you maybe this a little more direction. Maybe you're going to be particularly focused on learning what is required for your projects. Or maybe you have personal projects that are going to demand something specific. Wondering if you have any insight on like what is next for you or for the studio.
For the studio.
Or you.
Or me.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty...
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. I am the studio. I mean, like back to the other one where it's like the open-ended question about like what I would do like to learn.
Yeah.
It's like what you said. It's gonna be like, you know, controlling that fire, making sure I'm not like really shooting myself in the foot.
Yeah.
It's all about maybe meeting the right people, you know, talking to the right people, networking with the right people, and then the personal projects on the side. Yeah.
Sure.
Like it's gonna be like an everyday thing where I'm like practicing constantly, trying to get better and better and better. And then those like both those personal projects and those like, you know, real life projects, you put them both together, there's going to be situations that are going to put you like through a really hard time, a rough time. And I think those rough times was what's going to like help me learn for the next like 2 to 3 years.
Sure.
And that's actually how I have learned up until now.
Okay.
Like fully like, you know, self-taught, like school. I'm Indian. My parents, you got to make them proud. Shit. So did go to school after, but like even before that, it was like fully self-taught, throwing myself in the fire, working with like real life people that want to get like a website up or whatever. And then learning the hard way. You know.
I'm lukewarm on that school thing. I know it's like it's kind of in vogue to like say school isn't worth the time, and I think largely probably true, but there is like a lot of just doing things that you don't want to do, plus figuring things out when it's not taught to you in completion. Those things I think still carry through a lot. I'm sure they come through a lot in your work too.
Absolutely.
I don't know how I would have gotten any of that grit like without hating it for the time I hated it.
Right.
So yeah, I get that. I wanted to ask about that network thing, because I think this is one thing that I've noticed is extremely different between the technical, quote unquote technical community and the creative production community, or like the people who do stuff like there's really stuff, there's no distinction. Yeah. Like people that do that kind of stuff, like clothes, music, whatever. Networking in those two worlds has felt dramatically different to me. Like you still have to use that same finesse in kind of sizing people up and determining if they're like, I hate to say it this way, but it's like your time is valuable, right? Especially if you're properly staying busy and like you're focused on your growth and stuff. So you can't engage with every single person. I think I come from technical school too, so like I spent a lot of time networking with those people, and I could never get a read on technical people. I don't know what it is. Right. It's weird.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, man. Yeah. Because I've been in the same spot where it's like, bruh, like I don't know how to connect with these people. But Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I get you.
Have you had a lot of collaboration with technical people? Like, how do you, I don't totally even understand how collaboration works in a space like that.
Right. I think the best example of that is literally, well, I mean, I do have, I gotta pay like homage to them. I do have mentors.
Yeah.
That kind of like showed me the ropes of like how to work with the clientele and stuff like that.
Sure.
And they're very technical, right? I've had people show me, actually, you know what? It's funny enough, the technical people that I've collaborated with, they didn't really show me too much technical stuff. They showed me actually more like interpersonal things, like how to deal with clients, how to deal with like clients not paying you on time, these type of things.
Sure.
The actual technical stuff that I learned is actually from creative people in the creative industry.
Okay.
Like, for example, I hate to name drop, but I don't know how else to say it. Like Silk.co, he's a creative genius, marketing genius, whatever. And he taught me like after like working with him for a while, like what I learned from him is that you're gonna get these like crazy requests from people, and those crazy requests, they need to be done on time. They need to be done like for a certain like event or whatever. And those situations are what taught me the most technical parts. And it's going back to what I was talking about before, like those hard positions you get put into are the most like valuable times, like to like learn like technical shit, right?
Sure.
I think for me, it's a mesh of the two. For me, like how I network, like back to your question about networking, it's like I mesh what I learned from the creatives and I mesh what I learned from the technical people, and I put those two together. And then that's kind of how I kind of represent myself or like put myself out there to network and stuff. Cause like, I'll be honest, I'm not like your FANG level, like dev or like engineer or whatever like that. I'm fully self-taught, right? I'm more on like the freelance side. Like, it's like, I like making cool shit. I like to get the job done. No complaining, just get the thing done. Give my insight if I think there's a better way of doing something.
Right.
But by no means am I a lead code genius, right?
No, I honestly, I've heard they're kind of doing away with it a little bit. Like, I think it's getting phased out slowly.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Lead code.
Yeah.
Like out of interview processes.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I think it's getting phased out. Back in favor.
Thank God, actually.
Yeah, I think they're going back to more on-site stuff and more just like
the whiteboard stuff.
More whiteboard stuff.
I see.
Which I think makes a lot more sense personally.
I think so too.
But that's also because I suck at lead code. So
yeah, see, I suck at lead code too.
I don't know what it is. It just it feels like my brain just goes blank every time I try to read. It feels like doing word problems in uni again, and I'm like,
but like upside down, like while you're doing a backflip or something.
Yeah, it's like. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, man, I'm not trying to do no reverse binary tree stuff or all that stuff, man. Oh my
God. As long as I get it, if I have to get it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you get to the job too, the interview is like monstrous, and then you get to the job and you're bashing tickets.
Literally.
And go for like 6 years. It's like, what did I do this for?
Right. It's I think, okay, like my first ever corporate job was literally that. It was like with this real estate like prop tech company called cozy.co. And like we were like working out the DMZ like at TMU, sorry. And basically the interview was insane. Like it wasn't like lead code level insane, but it was like, oh, like we have like these many like a crazy number of properties, and we want to like somehow filter through all of them with like the least amount of lines of code. Bro, let me tell you, you know what the actual job was? It was just working on WordPress. Like what? And it wasn't even headless. It was just like literally just working on the WordPress stuff. It's like,
yeah,
come on, man.
That's just it. I think a lot of the times when the younger like interns ask questions, it's the only definitive thing I can tell them is 90% of jobs are going to hire you to do something incredibly specific. So if you spend all your time prepping for jobs or to get jobs, I mean, like I get it, circumstance demands it at times, but like it's definitely not the way to go if you're trying to do this for a long time. Like you're gonna hate it way faster.
I think that's kind of why I left. I was like, I'm gonna do my own thing, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my own thing.
No, I mean most of these gigs don't demand that. And by the time you get to like a high level engineer, a staff eng, unless you're working for like a big company, they're still not going to give you any real creative freedom in terms of how you approach your problems. You got to get to like, I think at Apple you got to be like an L9, which is.
What is L9? I don't know what that is.
It's just a level, but I think I typically when you enter as an engineer, you started around L6. something like that.
Okay.
So you climb over the years, and I think a promotion's pretty normal every like 2 years or so.
So I'm familiar with like you know, like obviously entry level, intermediate, principal, staff.
I think it's that
senior,
idea,
whatever.
but I think they might even use those titles, but I think the reason they use the L's is
Probably
because
their own brand language or whatever.
no, I mean it's at the bank too and stuff.
Oh, I see.
But I
Isn't
think
it?
it's partially because at some point you go from your regular IR engineering staff to having to decide if you're going to be a management, like you're going to climb management, or if you're going to continue climbing like your individual contributor.
Oh,
pipe.
I see.
And if you get really high as an individual contributor, you start getting that freedom to like walk around and pick up projects and like do things that could be valuable to the business. But again, like that's
Interesting.
definitely the exception and not the.
I would say so, yeah.
For sure.
Because if I can get that off rip, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No one gets that offer.
Exactly,
It's a
yeah,
luxury.
exactly.
For sure.
And I don't have all the time in the world, so it's like I have to find a way, you know, to like
Yeah.
be happy with what I want to do and stuff like that, and like have the creative freedom to do whatever I like. Find my
Yeah,
niche.
it's basically that, right? It's like someone else funding your creative ideas.
Yeah. I guess that's the way to look at it. Yeah, that's the way to look at it. Yeah.
I feel like if I started super early, that grind would have made sense, but you would have had to been either so monomaniacally focused just because nothing else scratched any itches for you,
Yeah.
or you're just like intentionally so focused that you completely ignore everything else purely because you know that's what you want.
Yeah.
I had nothing close to that kind of clarity. I still don't have anything close to that kind of clarity.
That feeling is like you go full on tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you, bro, like back in high school, but that's when I started coding and stuff, right? Like working with code and stuff. Dude, after school, we'd like go to our local like ball court, play ball, and like, you know, like kick the shits, whatever.
Sure.
I'm going back home to like work on like my website stuff. And then that's like where that clarity came. I was like, holy, this is what I want to do. And then I just ran with it.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's hard to get that, man. It's hard.
It's hard. It is hard. Yeah. You look for things to kind of keep it fresh and engaging, I guess. You know what? That's a good point too. Like I've been technical for years just because it's been part of my curriculum. It's been part of like what gets me paid, whatever. And there has been huge stretches of time where I spend a lot of time running around looking for things to keep it interesting.
Right.
And it just, for some reason, it never hooks me the same way it seems to hook other people. And as soon as I see it in someone else, I either my reaction is that's disingenuous, like you're not actually excited, or I already know that person is a killer, very sharp, like very dialed on what they're doing. They genuinely get pleasure out of it, but I don't see any in between personally. And I think I see a lot more disingenuous interest in tech than I see like real interest.
Right. Like what's an example of like something disingenuous that you've seen in tech? Like, is it like all these SaaS that are coming out and stuff like that? Like
yes, I think SaaS products are one of those things that have just like anytime money flows to something, people flow to it too. That's just how it is. Obviously, AI has had that problem too, if you want to call it a problem. But like as soon as venture money and private money started going there,
the VCs come my way.
Yeah, I mean, everyone started including it to get the funding, which makes perfect sense. But it bleeds into the normal like technical interested person, technology interested person too.
Right.
And like what is technology ultimately gets a little bit confusing too, especially like, and this is a bit of a broader rant, but I guess my point is there is like all the things that we use to get our shit done, like understanding the internals of how to make a microphone, building your own microphone, very technical process. I mean, unless you're following like a recipe, but very technical. I don't know, understanding how camera sensors work and reverse engineering them or doing something funky with them, really technical. But that particular colloquial understanding is, I think, completely washed. It's like when some people talk about technical things now, it's very much attached to SaaS product.
Right.
Like
high level stuff, like very
high level stuff.
It solves this problem. That's it.
Not even necessarily solve it, just a good vehicle for dumping money into. Like, I don't typically see anyone interested in technology studying it, continuing to study it, like mechanically studying it after school is over.
Yeah.
And I really wonder why that is. people won't pick up like, I'm sure there's tons of people that do, because O'Reilly publishes like 19 technical books a month.
Okay, right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So someone's reading them, but I've almost never come across anybody that reads those.
Yeah, it's like the homies that like love to read API documentation, like type of deal. It's like, oh, what's the next thing? What's like the next like cool thing I can do?
Yeah.
The next like cool thing I can research.
But that has to be motivated by something, right?
Absolutely.
Like
yeah,
product
absolutely.
or some end game. I'm sure you've had ideas too, like where you're like, this would be sick to build, and you take the time to figure it out how to do it. Even if you don't necessarily do it, that's still something.
Right.
I don't know if I've had that kick in a little while.
Yeah. What you just said right now, the motivator part, I think that's what like kicks it off. Like for me, it's like, because Hex Studio is my full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be completely honest. Like at the end of the day, I'm running a business, and the definition of that is like, yeah,
of course,
get the freaking bag.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like being put in that hard spot. I say that a lot, like being put in a hard spot. I think that's like one of my biggest motivators.
Sure.
I think that's what sparks the motivation in me to like do this research, find out what I can do that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like I have a couple like personal projects that I'm working on right now that really, they tap into like community, but at a technical level. Like is what really crazy conversation I had with one of my mentors. He's also in tech. He's a dev, whatever. And it's like with the introduction and the emergence of like all these crazy AI tools, it being integrated into like social media and stuff like that. How can you still retain the digital aspect while bringing people outside of their homes away from like their computer and stuff like that? And that idea sparked an idea in my head, and that's what led me off into like a crazy rabbit hole of like, okay, how can I like, build something that's like a platform that can help people with their like businesses or whatever, but still make it fun enough for people to come outside of their homes, have a good time with people, like mingle, socialize, and at the same time retain the digital aspect. So I'm working on a project right now that I'm not going to talk about, but like it's around those things. And I think that's where the spark came from, is like, dude, I'm in a hard spot now. I got to like do something cool that I like, that's fun, but still kind of game changing. Yeah.
I think I sent you that one link a little while back. You might have already known about them.
The shader one?
No, the new systems guys.
Well, the Brampton model or whatever it was?
Nah. I'll remind you after. I don't know too much about them either. I recently was told about them by two people in the same week, which is funny enough. But I guess they're like a technically leaning community that is also interested in creative things. So I guess it's like,
okay, this is like it's coming to me now. Yeah. Okay.
I think there's two particular operations. One is in the east, one's in the west end. I haven't gone yet. I was going to go check it out.
Here in Toronto?
Here in Toronto, yeah.
Say word, okay.
Yeah. So I was going to go say what's up to those folks and see what they're about.
Interesting.
So they seem cool.
I might have to take a look. Yeah.
I'd take a look. That'd be cool. I've always like my natural conclusion whenever we talk about like technology in like for technology outside of the computer is like installation work. For some reason, that's where my head always goes, and I don't know why. It doesn't feel like that's what you're getting at. It sounds like you're getting at something totally different.
The idea that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It actually, in a sense, it is an installation in a way. Are you familiar with geocaching?
Yeah.
It's kind of a play on that.
Okay.
Where every like point that is created,
sure,
is technically an installation, like a digital installation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying really hard not.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Don't need to go much farther than that. That's cool.
But the only reason is because like I wouldn't want to talk about something that I haven't created yet.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But once it's ready, definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
But on that point, the installation stuff, I think that's like another thing that I'm like really, 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 really fond about as well. That I find really fun. It's you get to like meet a lot of cool people and work with them like IRL, like physically.
Yeah.
And like spend like crazy like overnights trying to make this thing work.
Sure.
There's one project that I did with Ride. They had this like activation project where I think maybe you've seen on my Instagram, it's the red, yellow, blue thing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that. So that was like an iOS and Android app combination. And that the reason that was so fun because oh my God, it really pushed me to the limits. Like I had to spend like overnights trying to like debug stuff, figure out how like I can make this run locally without Wi-Fi sometimes, or like Wi-Fi outages. How to deal with the fact that people can take the entire device and run off with it. It's Toronto, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we did Eden Center, we did Union Station. Like those are, you know,
High risk.
yeah, it's high risk spots, right? But the aspect of even getting to work with people like side by side, like being like, hey Akash, can you like adjust this? Can you like we're running out of time, can you make this work? Like that pressure and just the entire like environment that you're working in is very like high octane and like high pressure, and I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's like, aside from the web and app and all that stuff, that's like I would say that's my favorite part.
Okay.
My favorite aspect of the job.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. So are you looking to do more installation type stuff?
100%, 120%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of interesting like 3D graphic artists, not even just like I don't want to say artists in this case, but like people who do interesting like live rendered 3D graphics and stuff. I mean, I know there's a ton of like non code driven tooling out there now too. Like Touch Designer is massive. What's the other one? Resolume is pretty big.
There's like the one with like the lasers and light Notch.
Yeah.
There's
tons of stuff.
I really want to look into Notch.
Notch looks cool too. Yeah, there's cool stuff for that. I have like this issue where but I have this thing where everything is interesting to some degree.
Right.
Get a lot of digging done, and then that's just it. It's like I try to get through that part as fast as possible, and then just settle on something and just be happy with what you settle on. Because like,
right.
If I showed you my laptop right now, like you look at the bar, it's just like
it's like a
just tools on tools on tools on tools. There's just so much shit, shit, and it becomes really difficult to figure out what the hell I'm trying to do.
Yeah, there is a thing as overwhelming yourself with stuff. Yeah, for sure.
That's happened. It's constantly happening. So for this installation type of work, are you actually, you know what? Even better question. Have you had a lot of clients specifically looking for that kind of work? Or is it usually more like web presence work? Because I think
in total, like overall, it's definitely been like way more like web work and like app work.
I can imagine, but I'm curious, like, how do clients even know this is a possibility, or is there someone on the marketing or agency side that has to first conceptualize it?
Yeah, so it starts off with like, that's part of my job as too, like making that like an apparent thing to people, like, oh, like we do this stuff as well.
Yeah.
Whether it's like audio reactive visuals or like visuals for like a concert show or whatever,
right,
or whatever. But another like, for example, like the ride project, the agency that hired me to do that, they obviously conceptualize that first,
right?
They're like a XM first agency.
Okay,
so they build like activations for a bunch of brands.
XM is like an understood word for this kind of stuff,
experiential like marketing and stuff like that. So they conceptualize the idea first, and then they pitch it to like the client or whatever, right? And if they get a green light, now they're tasked with like figuring out who can do this, who can bring this like idea to life. So that's kind of how it starts,
right?
But like you said, not a lot of people know that that's a possibility, and it's very, very hard to even pitch it as hexstudio. Pitching that to a client, like a potential client, it's very difficult. Because when you're like, oh, we can do an activation for you where we bring your products and we like, you know, we make 3D renders of it and we make this entire experience. It's such a high level topic to talk about that they start to like get too many ideas. And the problem with that is that, I'm always, I love to hear ideas. It's always a great thing, to like maybe possibly integrate that into the project. Budget though.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I want to build you like this crazy ride level project, but the overhead that's required to make that project come to life, it's a lot.
Of course.
And I think that's the hard part, where it's like find that niche source of clientele that can help you, or like work with you to bring that project to life, right? And by no means am I trying to like say like, oh, like give me the money, whatever. It's like, I want to make it work, but we literally need like budget to like,
of course,
get equipment, like fabrication and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. The tech part of it is like, great. That's cool. But yeah, to your question, it's like, not a lot of people are aware of these things.
Yeah. Client and customer education's hard.
It's hard.
It takes a lot of time.
It's really hard.
That brings up another question for me. Given that given that this is work for you, like, actually, let me flip it around. Did you start this kind of work intending to do it as art, or were you always thinking it was going to be product?
Yo, it started off as art.
Okay.
Because I was always a type. First of all, I hate social media. I'd never liked to like put myself out there and like
you have to do it in a way that's
like faceless.
Well, yeah, that, or just like doesn't feel forced, which is the hardest part.
That's the hardest part. Because
Yeah.
I'm not good at it in the first place. So making it not look forced is like even harder.
I get it. Yeah.
But for me, it started off as art, where I was just doing my thing. I just like to make cool stuff. I like when COVID started happening, I made like this data visualizer where it's like a 3D globe, and like it shows you like the amount of like cases and deaths and like people that are in recovery per like country, city, etc.
Sure.
And that was fun. That was like really fun. I just wanted to do it and show it off, whatever. Then like I used to like love creating like these 3D like 3D like video players, like music players, where it's like a CD and it's like 3Dified and like it's interactive and like cool stuff like that. But as I started like going deeper and deeper into hexstudio, working with it as a business, like on the business side, man, I tell you, like the artistic side does get tarnished a bit.
Of course.
It gets stained a bit, and
they don't have to represent the same person or anything either. Like one's a job, one's
it's hard because sometimes those lines blur.
Of course.
You know? And it happens a lot of the times where it's like, I want to be artistic, I want to make sure I do a killer job with this one client, but that requires me to be extremely creative and artistic with it. But then if they have their own designer or they have their own like ideas, obviously I want to consider it, obviously. But if they have like a huge, like, if they have it in a chokehold, then like my hands are tied. And that's like when it's like, now it's a job.
No, I think it's the same across pretty much anything you do. I did a lot of music videos over the last year or so, and short form videos and stuff. And I think at some point I was just like, it's not worth me trying to be artistic on some of these things. Like, I'd rather just accomplish the client goal here and do my own thing. Because like, yeah, it's an uphill battle, and it's completely thankless, obviously, because like I get it. When agencies hire people, the reason they pay what they pay is because they just want it done on time, minimal hassle. It's like they're not overly concerned on how much initiative you took and
the technicalities of it all.
Yeah, what you brought to the table. It's like, did you get it done in time, in budget?
Okay, great. Thank you.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
You just don't look for anything else there. I think I'm the same at work. I just don't look for gratification outside of like, did I do my job?
Yeah.
Is everyone content? Cool. I'm done. I'm out. Like, that's it. I can't. It's way too expensive emotionally, energy, whatever you want to call it, to put your I guess like, whatever, creative juice into something that might get flushed with with none of your say. It's just not worth the time. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say like about this whole entire thing about like, creativity being like blocked by like just the clients like wanting to like get stuff done. it's interesting because I think it's actually like, you know, I think it's region like industry based. Like for example, we're gonna be working with this one client of ours. Like they're like a musician in China, and he's like, I don't want to say he's like, oh, like Travis Scott or like China or whatever, but like he has a fairly big like following, whatever, and you'd expect people like that to like have their own creative idea and like force you to like do it one way, which is their way, right? But I had a talk with like a homie of mine that actually connected me with that person, and he was telling me that actually what the thing is like these folks, they have an idea, but they want to hire you to get really creative with it. Like they give you the creative freedom to like be artistic with it and stuff. And I'm like, that's what I like.
That's
but
cool.
Then here, it's like, it's different.
I would say it's not an industry thing though. I think some people just don't want to be the creative direction for their projects. Like they just want to do the thing they do. And
that's true. That is true.
Yeah. And if they're afforded the luxury of having someone else do it,
you know what? Yeah. If they're paying for it, then okay.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. And if it's expected up front, that's totally different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's sick though. That's cool. That's cool to get stuff like that. I mean, the strategic part of my head is always like, okay, you want to accomplish X, Y, Z. Like, let's say you want to get more creative freedom on everything you do. How do you go about communicating that capacity? And then I think then it ultimately kind of always folds down to how much art are you doing and pushing? Like how much are you giving these people to look at all times? In this particular case, actually, I'm going to veto what I just said. I'm going to say it differently. Not how much are you doing, but like, are you representing yourself as an artist or are you representing yourself as a business? Totally different things.
Right.
And I think the individual, much stronger representation as an artist. The business is a business. The business they're hiring to do something. As the artist, you can represent yourself even while you're doing the work. But I think I have no idea how this stuff would all play, but I think if someone comes to you as a client and then they see you and then they see your work that's not related to Hex or something, that might be one way to kind of build that. Or like the installation work you do, focus on this isn't advice at all. This is me thinking out loud. But like focus on showing it to people that make those kinds of decisions, I guess. I don't know. I'm also like actively looking for little like niches of people that do these things, make these decisions. Like we have this inherent issue or whatever, this default tendency to market to our community. Like musicians have a tendency to market to people that make music videos, people that do film, other musicians,
right? Not
really who you're actually intending to show your stuff to. And I think when you do your like exhibitions and stuff, it's really important to like push out, especially if purchasing power is important to you to run your business. Like you need to show your stuff to whatever, like marketing conventions or stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm also looking for those people. So if they ever come up or if you ever run into them, would love to know who all these people are.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because we need to, I really think broadly speaking, everyone needs to market to a whole different type of person.
Yeah. I think it's very, very easy, especially in Toronto, to get engulfed in marketing just to your community.
Yeah.
I think, if you like, you definitely like, you need to broaden yourself, right? Like you need to broaden yourself to like all sorts of industries and like communities and stuff like that. It can't just be one community. That's what logically makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I think for me, the way that I combat that or like kind of beat that is like, I just do my thing.
That's fair.
Do my thing.
Yeah.
If you see it, you see it. If you don't see it, you don't see it. I think that's also how I've been getting a lot of my work. It's like just by doing my own thing, having fun with it. But yeah, when you actually like land work, and you get into it with them, then that's when the business side comes out, and like then that's when you have to like be strict about certain things, put constraints on things, and just make sure you're watching out for your own back. But it's still the same idea. You're still doing your own thing after those discussions and meetings. Yeah. Right. But yeah, I would say that's how I do it.
Makes sense. I mean, truthfully, you're probably a lot more pragmatic about it than me, and you've probably thought about it a lot more, just given this is what you're doing.
Right.
Oh, and I'm just shooting the shit here. But like, I'm very neurotic about like the stuff I work on, in the sense that I don't want to do anything for the sake of just doing it unless I'm like frustrated in doing it. So I'm looking for like reasons to continue developing some of these skills. So it's interesting. I don't know. It feels like you finish all of this early training, like your first couple of years of doing something, you get to a certain level, and then it's entirely up to you what you do next.
Right.
And that's when things get kind of nutty. And I definitely feel like that's where I'm at across the board now. So
trying to figure out like kind of like which route to go down, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you can lean into it and like say, okay, this is something I'm going to do professionally. I intend to get paid, which will dictate a ton of your decisions going forward. Like getting paid is no joke. Like you need to be on top of it.
Yep.
But for some reason, every time we get to that point, like every time I get to that point, that's when it immediately turns off for me. Like I just don't care anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Very weird.
Is it like a really, really overwhelming like thought that makes you just like be like, oh, screw this, I'm done?
Maybe I don't want to be a business and I just want to do the art. That's possible too.
That is super possible. Yeah,
it's possible, but I don't like that idea right now because it feels like a losing strategy. Like it.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, maybe I can tell you like what like Hex Studio's like actual ethos is.
Yeah.
Like what we're actually all about. Like kind of like what makes Hex Studio.
Sure.
So when we first started out, and this is something that I carry with myself on a daily basis whenever I'm working on Hex stuff. But when Hex first started, it was based off of the whole idea of just freestyling stuff.
Sure.
Being an artist that's freestyling things, not doing things like the mundane and mainstream way, doing things our own way.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that kind of plays into like, being an artist versus being a business.
Right.
And I think that ethos, that idea that I've like built Hex Studio on is something that I carry all at all times.
Sure.
But yeah, it gets challenged. It gets challenged all the time. And it's like you find that sweet spot where it's like, I think that's the hardest. I think this is something I'm still dealing with, trying to figure out myself right now. It's okay, I want to be like the freestyler that makes cool stuff, that people are like, oh, that's awesome, cool stuff, whatever. But then it's like, I still need to make this like a living. I still need to like be happy with what I'm doing and still live off of it, and make sure the people that I'm like working with, like my like Davison, for example, or like, you know, Sebastian or whatever, like I'm constructing a space where it's also benefiting them. And as a singular art, like an individual artist, I can't do that. But as a business, I can.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, so how do I mesh those two together? And that's like the hardest thing that I'm dealing with right now. And I think that also might be what it is for you, kind of, where it's like, I want to be the artist side, but it's like, I have all these skills to be the artist that I want to be, but it's like, there's that business element that's like lurking in the background that's making me kind of like pushing it off my head.
Yeah, it's totally possible. I think that's what caused my initial, like the last 2 years where it was just a lot of exploring kind of with that same ethos in mind. And to that end, I think as soon as I decided that that's something I wanted to experiment with for a little while, I immediately had to delay any possibility of like it converting, whether that's monetary or like into work. I just knew that if this is how we were going to approach things, I was going to have to be okay delaying the gratification for quite some time. Like the do it on our own terms kind of ethos, like you guys said.
I think it's pretty badass, dude.
No, it is. But I mean, circumstances are also different for everyone, right? Like I was working the whole time. So it's not like I was working like crazy because there's the job and then this stuff. It's still doing it, but it's not the same kind of stress. It's like a different, you're bringing it on yourself kind of stress.
Yeah. I understand this.
Yeah. So I spun up this thing with a friend of mine, Norby, called Boys Alone. We were like, all right, let's just experiment.
Yes, I think you told me about this last time you met. Yeah.
We're just like, let's experiment. Let's put it under one imprint just so we have some traction. And then we'll check back in like 2 years and see where we're at and see what we want to readjust. And that 2 year mark is basically right now.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Say word. Okay.
So this show started November last year.
Okay.
Because we were about a year in and we're like, it's been cool. We've been doing a lot of music. We did a lot of videos. So we got that kind of like muscle starting to build up a little bit. And then we're like, we just don't have a good way to access who's in the city and people are doing stuff. So this was a good excuse. Like when else do you get like an hour to sit down with someone and just shoot the shit?
Yeah, dude, for real. Yeah.
And it spits out content, which whatever. I'm not like overly concerned with how it performs just because that's not the reason we do it. The reason we do it is because it's opened up so many, like, I'll say doors, but really it's given me a way better sense of what's going on in the city.
That's, you know what, that's actually a good point. I didn't think of that because like I was like, oh, this is cool because they're letting folks that maybe not a lot of people know about.
I mean, you guys are doing us the favor when you come on, truthfully.
I guess so, but it's like for me, like I guess in this situation, it's like for me, I don't get to talk about these things a lot, right?
Fair.
Like not all my friends, like my entire friend group, like my main friend group is like, they're not tech savvy, right? Like some of them are baristas, some of them are, you know, personal trainers, some of them, you know, I don't get the chance to talk about these things. So being able to come in, another plus is that you're also in tech, right? So we can talk about these things and have a good time, whatever. So I think that for me is like, oh, this is sick, this is cool. So I think that's like, you know, you're providing that opportunity as well.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like to that end, that broader point is now we're pivoting again. Like
I see.
A little bit, at least. Like outwardly, I don't think anyone will be able to tell because it's not like we've done crazy numbers or anything. But like,
yeah, but a pivot's a pivot.
Yeah, a pivot's a pivot. Like we did a lot of videos and we did a lot of that stuff kind of externally to the team or in periphery to the team, and I think we learned a lot about like more about what we don't want to do.
Right.
I think like the commercial video side, I don't love unless I get to be the creative element in it. Like I don't care about being the production.
Right.
But I had no idea. I didn't know that before. But I think I'm spending so much time figuring out what I don't want to do. In theory, by process of elimination, I should be getting closer to my actual represented goal, but it doesn't feel like it. It never feels like it.
Yeah, it never feels like it. Yeah.
It never feels like it.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's like an endless loop almost. Kind of.
It feels like some people are just really dialed. Like to me, you seem dialed. You have this thing that you're putting your energy into and is going to improve as a skill, which is sick. Year round, you can work on this thing, and just like at the end of the year, you can be like, sick.
Right. Yeah. I get you.
I feel like a lot of people have that. I just don't know. I just don't think I do. Yeah, I don't know. It's
like the way I'm seeing it is like it seems like you're very like multifaceted, where it's like you're doing a lot of things. But it's like the way I see it is like you're like, let's say you have like 100% energy, right? And you're putting it into 4 different things. You're putting like 25% into each one of these things.
Yeah.
But it's like if you put maybe even 50% into one thing and 50% into another thing, is better than doing 25% in another thing, right? Even better, doing 100% on one thing.
Which makes sense if energy is additive.
You're right,
But I don't know if it is. I feel like if I picked up just one thing and dialed in on it, it would just be like a quarter of the efficiency. It's weird.
Okay. Oh, like you're not like your heart's not there. You're just like doing 100%.
Yeah. Like my brain will just go, all right, let's do something else.
I see. Okay.
I've been doing music since like grade 9 high school.
Okay.
And it's just always been there. Visual art, same kind of deal. And it's just like, I don't have anything of my own to show for it. I have a ton of contributions to like other people's work, and that pisses me off. Like, and I didn't realize it pissed me off until like last year.
I see.
So now there's like a much more. I'm trying to burn through all my work so I can just shut down and just go do that, because it's crazy that it took this long for me to realize that that's what's been missing.
I see. Okay.
Like I need to represent myself.
Is this kind of like what the pivot is revolving around?
Yeah. I mean, the studio is definitely a team thing, but like, I think the larger part of the pivot is I want to represent myself to everyone I've met. I think most people don't have, to my fault. Like I never have a good way to explain what I do. If someone asks me, I kind of just hesitate because like I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm a musician. I'm not going to say I'm a director. Like, because there is legitimate directors who've been doing this for 10 years around me that are my
right.
friends.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So I don't necessarily feel like I want to represent myself that way, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I think the goal I'm working towards is not that different from them. I want to represent myself as an artist, and then I want to creative direct off that. And that's like the same goal, but like a very, very different approach, I guess.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, but like, you just said it right. I want to be an artist, and I want to be like, you know, creative director on some things like that. I think that's like a first step. It's like at the same time, it's a mesh between having purpose and imposter syndrome. I hate imposter syndrome. Oh, I hate that stuff so much.
I know.
And it's like, I think that could be part of it as well. It's like being too hard on ourselves when it comes to like finding our purpose, and then beating ourselves up like, oh, but I'm not that guy. I'm not him, you know?
Maybe. But when you see how much nuance there is to every single industry and every single creative pursuit, I think the imposter thing can float away a little bit easier. Because like you can say, that dude's a fantastic commercial producer. I'm sure he could do creative, like more small indie productions if he wanted to. But like this dude is in a different bracket altogether now. Like,
Right.
So I'm a little bit removed from that. I don't know if it's so much imposter syndrome. It's more just like this weird dissonance now, where it's like it's been a lot of time and a lot of effort, but who I am today and who I daydream about being are very different people. Which is just it's a weird split.
I see.
M. Night Shyamalan style split.
Do you at least have a grasp on like what that obstacle could be between you versus daydreamer you?
Hell no.
Or daydreams you?
Hell no.
Nah.
Absolutely not. I've done, in my opinion, I've done a lot of work this year. Like I'm working on my personal site right now. Should be up by the end of the week. And I looked at it and I'm like, damn, this is all within the last 2 years. And if anyone had asked me what I've been up to for the last 2 years, just to my face, I could not tell you.
Interesting.
But now it's on paper and I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, this is actually like a respectable start. Like I'm contending now.
I see. Okay, interesting.
But I think it was like 2 years of just paying dues day in, day out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people will disagree that are listening to this and still don't think I'm done paying dues. And you know what? Totally fair.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I'm not done either, bro. Like it's an ongoing thing. But man, yeah, it's what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say that's one of those things. Have you mainly been Toronto?
Yeah, mainly been Toronto.
Mainly been Toronto, right?
I mean, born, brought up Scarborough, then moved downtown.
Yeah.
So it's still
Toronto,
same.
I'm from Waterloo, and then I moved here.
Okay.
So I think a lot of our neighbors down south see Toronto as like a very prestigious city in a lot of ways.
Oh, really?
Creatively,
I didn't even take that in.
I think it is just like it is. It's difficult to live here. It's not.
I just thought people look at it as like a really expensive place to live.
It is expensive, but I think also I think anytime you see creatives not from where you are and from a tough city to survive in, or when I say so, whatever, circumstantially, like New York is tough, LA is tough, that kind of thing. I think there's a credibility there. I think a lot of our neighbors down south look at us like that, the same way we kind of look at them.
Oh, I see.
I think, and that's another thing we're going to test this year. We'll see. Like I want to see a lot of my friends stock across the border, so we're going to try and help them do that. I want to see.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I want to see just like I want to see what we can do.
How it is over there, eh?
Yeah. Again,
I've actually gotten that a lot from like Vancouver and Calgary and stuff like that.
that might be too.
Yeah, like in Calgary, their creative scene is not like super large compared to Toronto.
Sure.
But what that does is that it's very like it's small enough that like you know who's good at what.
Right.
You know who to like look out for, who to talk to and stuff like that. And they have a great appreciation for people from Toronto and stuff like that.
Sure.
And the same thing applies in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I like the creative scene over there a lot. Like
Yeah.
a lot. Because they're open to risk.
Yeah.
They're open to doing things and keeping it black and white. Not all this other gibberish in between that happens from getting a project from end to end. And I really appreciate that. And I think they appreciate that from people they work with that are outside of Calgary and Vancouver.
Sure.
Which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Because here, I think it's way more cutthroat. Like
It's tough.
Cutthroat, it's tough. It's way more tougher, you know?
I think everyone's naturally needs to look out for their interests. So like it just, that's just how the chips
Everybody's
fall.
got to eat, man. Yeah.
That too. I mean, beyond just like basic necessity, it's like you don't get any real gratification from your creative work forever, if ever.
Right.
So you really have to either be doing it because you enjoy it or because you feel like you have the potential to do it. I have no real judgment on anyone's potential. I just like, again, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm purely betting on myself.
Right. Yeah. It's a gamble. You're betting on yourself. Yeah. And it's like, sometimes it pays out, man, like big time.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think, yeah, you should bet on yourself even more, man.
Definitely. I mean, the last couple of years I've been doing so many other people's projects. It was so expensive too, just because like, even to get in the door.
Like, on you.
Yeah. Just because sometimes to even get in the door, like it would have to be my passion project for somebody else.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like, because I just needed to get work under my belt.
Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't wait for people. And if I wanted to work the way I want to work, again, it was going to cost me like, so a lot of last year or the last 2 years was like straight out of pocket, just getting shit done.
Damn, I see.
But who knows?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows?
Things come like out of nowhere. Expect the unexpected, man. For real.
Yeah.
You never know. Like next week you're gonna get something crazy and it's like, whoa.
I hope not.
Hope not.
Honestly, next week I'm hoping I can just lock
chill,
in and just work on records.
Okay, yeah, sick.
I'm bouncing around for like the next month or so for vacations and like some work stuff. So
oh damn, where you heading out to?
we're going to Vancouver for a week.
Oh, say word.
Buddy's wedding and maybe catch up with a few folks. And I also wanted to check out some like designers out there, see what they're up to, do some studio visits and stuff, and then
Yo, yeah.
that'd be fun. And then I'm going to St. Martin, like Dominican Republic, for a little bit, just to shoot the shit.
Just to chill out, eh?
Shoot the shit, yeah.
Nice, man. Well deserved, eh?
Take my lappy though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't go anywhere.
Digital nomads, bro.
Dude, I can't go anywhere without my laptop.
I feel you.
I'm actually fucked. It's crazy.
Yo, I mean, whenever I go on vacation, I need my laptop with me,
Dude,
bro.
I take it to friends' houses.
Huh?
I take it to hangouts.
Yeah, yo, just bring it anywhere. So just put it in the backpack, you know?
It's always in my bag.
Yeah, there you go. Pull it out. Yo, I'm ready.
It's crazy. If I disengage from something, I just whip my laptop out.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually going against the Bible right now because I should have brought my bag and my laptop here.
Gotta have it on you.
Yeah, man.
All times. Sick, man.
Man.
Well, I wanted to, if you have any personal things coming up that you wanted to shout out or talk about real quick.
Yeah,
some minutes at a time.
You know what? I actually will speak upon like that project.
Sure.
That I was like kind of being a little bitch about, but it's basically it's called Hex Point.
Okay.
And essentially what it is our logo it's a hashtag, right? Like it's that little hashtag thing. The whole idea is it's going to be an app. It's going to be across like iOS, Android. It'll be on web as well. And it kind of works the same way as geocaching works. So you can go around the city, around the world even, and you can hit up these hex points, or you can even establish your own hex point.
Okay.
So what that process entails is essentially anywhere that you like you're walking down the street, you're in a park or whatever, you're like at a club or like at a bar or whatever. And anywhere you recognize a hashtag pattern in anything, you take the app out, you scan it, and if it has not already been established, you've just now established a new hex point.
Okay.
And what these hex points act as is kind of like a data storage dump, but not anonymous. The only time it's not anonymous is when you're actually trying to share it with someone. Like for example, if I set up a hex point in I don't know, AM, PM or something like that. I don't know.
That's the place.
That's the place, I guess. Or apartment 200 or whatever, right? It's in the washroom or some shit like that. Like random ass location. And I want to like share something with you that I only want you seeing and I don't want anyone seeing. I can put it in that hex point and be like, yo, go to that spot. There's something waiting for you.
Right.
You can go in. It could be Bitcoin. It could be whatever. It could be like some random meme or whatever.
Yeah.
But then people can also anonymously upload stuff in there as well. Like kind of like a post-it kind of system.
Right.
You can put notes in there. You can put images, media, whatever. And it's completely uncensored. I want to make it completely uncensored. You can have fun with it, right? And essentially what it is like, if you establish a point, you can gain points for that. If you contribute to a point, you also gain points for that. And the end game model of this is that when I'm working with different brands, businesses, stuff, especially like, for example, let's say Slice of Life wants to like host a event, and they want to partner with Hexpoint or hexstudio. We would be like, okay, you can use hex points generated, like, you know, it's technically like a form of UGC, right? Where these hex points have been created around the city, and one way or the other, sooner than later, there will be hex points around that business's like establishment, right?
Sure.
And at that event, what you can do is like, let's say, for example, the only way to gain entry or exclusive access to like VIP merch or like, you know, VIP experiences like games, and it's like Mario Party at like a bar or whatever, right? Is through those hex points. You know, you scan those hex points and you're like, okay, there is it will say like, oh, established by user blah blah blah.
Right.
But then right underneath that would be like, oh, there's an event happening at 9:00 p.m. at this location just around the corner from you.
That's cool.
Sign up. You now have like access to like the hex point event experience or whatever, right? So that's something I've been working on recently that's coming up. It's going to be a large project for sure. So I don't expect it coming out anytime soon. But I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
We have a couple of people that are already lined up to like kind of like demo it and work with it. I'm going to have a huge retreat of just like people, a couple homies. We're going to go around the city.
Sick.
Establishing hex points all over the place.
Sick.
And then yeah, like you go on the map, like at the website or the app, whatever, and you'll see like a 3D map of like your location, and like you'll see all these like points sprawled across the area. And I thought that was really cool. Where it's like, you know, it's getting people to come outside. Right, like how I was talking earlier. It's like getting people to come outside. It's almost like Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Hanging out with homies, you're going to events and stuff like that. You're experiencing these cool events, these cool like hex point experiences. So yeah, I'm like, that's like one of my passion projects, but also again, right? Business, blurring the lines.
Sure.
That's one project. And then another one that's coming up that I'm working on is that holographic thing that you saw. So it's by this company called, the hardware itself is by this company called Looking Glass. They had a Kickstarter back in like 2015, I think. And they actually like became commercialized like, I want to say like 2 years ago. But I used to not have the funds to buy that stuff. That's expensive. But I finally got my hands on one of them, and it's kind of my way of being like, yo, back to the whole like XM tech thing, where it's like, oh, you want to like advertise a 3D product. You want to make like let's say you're dropping like a shoe. Let's say Spencer Badu and Dahoka that came out. He wanted to make like a crazy activation piece where it's like a huge holographic screen, and you can use your hands to like kind of swipe the shoe and look at it without even touching it.
Sure.
Right. And it's holographic. Like you can look at it from different angles. Like if we're looking at it at the same time, and I'm looking from the straight and you're looking from this angle, you'll literally see the side of the shoe.
Right.
And I was like, I think there's something here. There's like I'm trying to like create my own opportunity here.
Sure.
So that's in the works. I'm not sure what I can do just yet in terms of like, like a demo product or whatever like that. I'm probably going to make something related to Hextana. Hextana is like our AI bot that I'm creating. It's if you're a Halo fan, it's based off Cortana. And that's the third project I'm working on, Hextana, where it's going to be like a kind of a game.
Okay.
It's kind of like a gamified AI bot where I've given her an end game. So she has an ulterior motive, but you just don't know what it is. Obviously I know what it is, but you're never gonna know. But the whole idea,
just ask her point blank.
You could, but I've already put something in there.
True, fair enough.
But essentially, it's like the more you conversate with her, her level increases, and as her level increases, the more her sentience increases as well, and she starts to get fragments of like her past. Like I've given her like a whole on story.
I'll say
like a backstory.
It's right? Like a text-based game, but a chatbot-based game.
Yeah, it's basically a sim, but it's like you're trying to beat the AI bot, but still get help from the AI bot as well. Bless you.
Thank you.
But yeah, like that's a cool thing I'm working on as well. Yeah, I would say like in terms of personal projects, that's about it. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
That's a good
fun, dude.
trifecta.
It's just fun, you know.
Yeah, no, that sounds sick.
It's sick to make.
Let me know when when you launch. What did you call it? Hex Point.
Hex Point. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let me know when that launches. That sounds sick. It sounds cool. Like having any distribution power or any distribution like platform, automatic good idea. If you can grow it, that's just like always a good thing to own.
I'm scared about that part, the growing it part.
I mean,
like I said, I'm not good at social media, but I try. But
yeah, I have to imagine there's better ways. Like if you can get brand engagement across it and grow it through brand engagements or installations or like Nuit Blanche or something, you have Hexana running that entire night or something.
Yeah.
Hex Point, sorry.
Yeah,
a lot of Hex.
That's a good one actually, because even on that, like, because we did Nuit Blanche in 2024. We did 2 projects, right? One was like for Bronze Radio, and that was like a audio reactive visual project. The other one, which is called Civil Servant, was a fully like AI native based like installation experience thing where you can go in and this AI bot will ask you one thing. Yeah.
Make sure you don't forget it.
So it'll ask you this one thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, how would you describe your ideal like civil candidate?
Civil?
Like I guess like city candidate, like a political figure or whatever, right? For the city.
Sure.
And uncensored, completely uncensored, right? Like people can say some crazy shit in there, or they can be like serious. They can be like serious about it, right? And what it would do is it would generate like a character based off like your answer, the emotion attached to your answer. Like maybe your answer has like some maliciousness behind it, or it has like some sort of like joy behind it. So it would take all those elements and then create like parameters that would be attached to the character that it generates. Does that make sense? So let's say you're like, oh, I want like the candidate to be a complete asshole that hates people and just is a super selfish.
Okay.
So it would generate a candidate that's like very dark in color and just like really morbid looking, like really deformed.
Okay.
But then if you're like, oh, I want a leader that's like, you know, who understands what it means to be a leader, is generous, who cares about the people, then it's gonna be like a more like happy, jolly colored candidate character that's less deformed, right? And then if you put a lot of thought into the answer, like you're very, very detailed about it, then that's also considered like that also plays into like how your candidate avatar looks. So what we're thinking for like next year or like sometime down the road, it's like connecting Hex Point to that system. Something like that. It's still in the talks, whatever, but we thought that'd be a pretty cool idea, like, you know, Nuit Blanche, shout out Hex Point and stuff like that.
That'd be
pretty cool.
That could be cool. I think there's a lot of ways to grow that. Essentially,
I think so.
It's a platform, so I mean that's kind of what it's there for.
It's meant for like things like that,
integrations and stuff. That's it. Cool. Yeah, man. Well, it sounds like you're going to be busy for the foreseeable future.
Busy, bro. Yeah. Good problems to have, man.
What do you do? I haven't even asked this when I know we're dragging on, but like, what do you do outside of working like crazy?
Nah, I breathe and live hexstudio, man. That's all I do, bro. That's all I do. I mean, obviously, like, I'll have some fun.
Yeah.
After this, I'm gonna go to a bar.
Sick.
You know, I do like bars. I like drinking. You know,
what's your bar of choice in town?
I have a bias, bro. They're my client. Slice of Life.
Where they at?
They're at College and Bathurst.
I know College and Bathurst. So
you know where Green Room is? College? Yeah, it's like right across from those guys. They're like
it's on the other side.
Yeah. They're like
Hush Hush next to Hush Hush.
No, next to Toby's.
Next to the sports bar.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah. If you know,
we go to Jerry's quite a bit.
Oh yeah, Jerry's is awesome too. Yeah. I actually ran to Gabe there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, he's like, pull up to my thing at Combine. I was like,
yeah.
I'll pull up.
That was sick too. That was fun.
It was sick. Yeah.
I ended up going there every single day just because I was always going to something and walking.
No way.
So I just kept walking by there.
Holy shit.
I definitely set the record for most visits.
When did you stop? Because I went literally yesterday.
I didn't know they kept going. They extended?
They extended, they extended it. Yeah.
You
were in the first week, eh?
The first week.
Oh, I see.
I went like every single day in the first week just by accident.
Say a word. I should have came in the first week. God damn it.
No, sick. I ran into a bunch of people there, so it's cool too.
Dope. Yeah.
John's been going crazy. He keeps just posting new things he's making like every day right now.
Yo, yeah. Literally yesterday I went and he was like working on a custom for like this someone.
Yeah.
Damn.
They were doing that customs that entire week for first week too.
Yeah, it became like their studio space.
Yeah.
So cool.
Sick.
Actually so cool.
So dope.
Yeah.
No, they're doing great. Good for them.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
But yeah, yo, this is sick.
Yeah, I mean, we have no format or rules. So like, you work on something again and you want to throw it out there to our huge listener base.
No, I just wanted to do this because I'll be honest. Like for me, like I said before, I don't get to talk like this.
Sure.
With homies, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, stage fright or a camera, whatever.
Yeah.
I've never done stuff like this, right? Like obviously when I first walked in, I was like, oh shoot, it's like a full on thing. It's a full setup. I mean, like, I know for you it's chill. For you it's chill, but for me it's like
I get your point. I get what you're saying.
It's a little tiny bit nerve wracking, but
course.
it's like I just wanted to like kind of break that barrier for myself.
Yeah.
Because obviously, to the point, right? I'm not good at social media. I'm not good at like putting myself in front of a camera or whatever. I used to stream on Twitch back then. That was easy because I was like yelling my ass off on horror games and shit.
Yeah.
But
what horror games are you into?
all the fucked up ones like Blair Witch Project.
Okay.
I'm into like Outlast, all the Outlast games.
Is crazy,
bro. You think Outlast? Bro, Blair Witch Project is.
I haven't played it.
It's insane. I like indie horror games too.
Yeah. Did you play Faz?
I'm not a fan of those type of games.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I like I get like Faz is like very like investigative and like as all horror games.
It's like a game you play with friends type game.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
I want to be like
Silent Hill.
So, oh, yo, the new one's coming out. I can't wait.
Silent Hill's sick.
Can't wait.
Fucking.
What else is there?
There's tons of stuff.
There's tons, bro.
Back
like
in the day,
the Resident Evil ones, like
back in the PlayStation 2 days, the Silent Hill games were
throwback.
The Resident Evil stuff, I guess, is kind of horror.
Yeah, I think like the newer ones, like the older ones.
What was I think it wasn't Village.
Biohazard
with VR.
Moshed. Wait, what?
No, 7. Sorry, I think it was 7 with VR.
I think 7's Biohazard. Yeah.
Is it?
I think 8 is Village. Yeah.
So I think it was Biohazard.
Was it the one with like
the first scene is where you walk up to the gates and you go into the house?
Biohazard, yeah.
Like chick comes at you with the screwdriver.
Yeah. Okay.
Played that shit in VR. Oh my god!
I'm smacking my head.
I didn't go any farther than that.
For real.
I couldn't handle it. I was like,
dude. The only reason I got past that game is because I streamed it on Twitch. Otherwise, I would have been like, oh fuck, man, this is actually fucking.
So because you're kind of playing with people.
You had people like watching you and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's chill. It's like okay.
Hey D'Lo, I'll come. Are you outside?
Yes, I'm outside.
All right, give me 2 seconds. I'll come get you.
1.
No, okay. Well, you're gonna have to count way slower. I'll come. Oh, actually, you know what? Just stay really close to the door. I'm gonna open it from in here.
All right.
It's crazy. All right. See. So yes, you're saying scary ass games.
Yeah, scary games are my shit. But yeah, like, bro, I still gotta get used to all this stuff, but like I think bit by bit.
No, you did fine. I mean, first time we did it too. The other big advantage of doing this is just like it's technically very low stakes, and I'm not performing. I'm just chatting.
Right,
like I don't have to look at a camera and just be on. Like it's not like trying to do a TikTok video. Where I'm like,
yo, content creators, bro. I don't know how they do it, man.
Doing all that type shit. No, it's crazy. My my business partner was doing it for his music for a little while, just because like every single indie we went to was just like, you gotta do TikTok, and he just fucking hated it.
I hate that shit, bro.
We're in the end of the hall. It says Podcast Pro.
Yeah, man. Like, okay, I used to work with like a marketer back then, right?
I think I can hear you. Just walk in, dude. It's chill. It's this thing.
I hear him.
Yeah. Just come in, bro. Fucking D'Lo. Yeah. So you're saying?
Yeah, man. Like I used to work with a marketer and shit, and he would tell me always, bro, like, yo, you gotta put your face out.
Yeah.
You gotta do the TikToks.
Well, the face thing is true, because like if you put your face in fucking your IG post and shit, the engagement is way better.
Damn.
It's way better.
And like if you're talking and stuff like that, it's like, oh,
yeah,
they need to see a face.
Yeah, as long as there's a face. Is this door locked too? Let me lock it.
Oh shit.
They need to see a face, and I don't totally sneak in. Just sneak through this thing. Keep going.
But yeah, man.
Come in. But what's up?
Oh, what up? What up?
That's Chai. That's Akash. Just take a seat. It's chill. There's no rules. What do you? Yeah, just come in, bro. You showed up to our last thing. It was the
For
weird.
30th birthday. 30th birthday. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yo, I was drunk as fuck that time. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Oh, my hair's good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up? You're the stranger thing in here. We're just talking about scary games that we're playing.
Shit. Yeah. Yo, what up? No, we haven't. Akash. Nice to meet you, Chai. Gilo, right? Gilo. Akash. Meet again.
I'm gonna call you Lilo.
We actually met before.
Lilo.
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Sick. Well, I mean, that was a dope episode. That shit flew by
That
too.
was cool. That was fun. I mean, what? How long is it now?
Hour and a half, bro.
That was an hour and a half?
Yes, sir.
Just keep on adding more, man.
I got so many. I got so many you'll never see.
Yeah, bro. Alright, then.
Tight. Should we cut this one and start the next one? We're saying if you got time too, feel free to hang out. If you want to hit your bar,
Yeah.
go hit your
Let
bar.
me see what time it is.
7:30.
Because I gotta hit that. I gotta hit the bar up.
Slice of life. You ever heard
I
of
hit a
it?
slice of life, man.
Same first time I heard of it too.
Yeah.
I'm in that area all the time and I never seen it.
College in Bathurst. It's like where Green Room is.
Okay, period.
Yeah.
I'm around there a lot. I'm surprised I never seen it.
They're pretty. They're
tucked
tucked in,
away?
That's why. And I told them bare times like, yo, y'all need to work on your signage because like, no one knows where you guys are at.
Yeah, for real. Because I seen Toby's, I seen Hush Hush, and
You don't see Slice of Life,
yeah,
right?
in between, I can only imagine a void.
I've actually walked by it.
Have you
It's like
noticed it?
black, and then it's like you see like it's like engraving on the side,
Yeah.
but it's like it's in the street though, and like people are always getting confused like where to go and stuff, and it's like, bruh,
All right, sick. Well, I'll go there next time.
Yeah,
next time I go
for
somewhere.
sure.
You got a fold phone?
hell yeah, man.
What the hell, bro?
What? The ads for that are so
That's some techie
Yo.
shit.
actually
That's some
It's sick. It's sick.
some Game Boy Advance nostalgia.
Yo, it's literally a Game Boy Advance SP, bro. Like, look at
Can you run emulators on that?
why is it sick, bro? Because it's a flip phone, man. That's why. That's the only reason.
Yeah, but it's new age.
fit it in your
Why
pocket.
is it sick, bro?
Bro, okay. So aside from it being a flip phone, bro, you can do stuff like
It's kind of stylish, so I'm not gonna lie.
it's stylish. It's Android.
It is.
It's Android too. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm done with iPhones, man. Oh shit.
What?
Oh shit.
Oh, no, I don't care, but I'm surprised. I figure you'd like the convenience. What do you need Androids for?
Nah, I mean for me because I'm a dev, I need both, right? I need both iOS
Oh,
and
true,
Android.
true.
But I think like for me, Android definitely because I can do more with it. I can do like multitasking on this stuff.
That's nerd shit, bro.
Yeah, I
Nah,
can
dude.
do shit like that. Yeah,
Like what?
take pictures of the moon and stuff, bro.
Oh,
And,
word.
get the entire detail. No,
That's fair.
I'm kidding.
Start posting some moon pictures of the moon. Oh yeah, facts. Look at the details on that. Yeah, look at this carpet. Guess what this is? That's my leg hair.
The patterns, bro. Holy shit.
Sick. All right, well that's friends of friends like 18, 19, 20, 21, something like that.
Sick. Dope. Yeah, yo, I don't do this shit a lot. Yo, respects, bro.